One of the greatest myths out there, and something I get a chuckle at every time I see, but there's actually some reason for it, is a bedding log. You know, people make these deer bed areas and hinge cuts, and then they add a log within it, in theory, so the deer can bed against it. And you'll see in this case right here, this is a popple that we cut down, and this tree is down. We're actually getting some regeneration, so that's a good thing. But it's pretty wide open around here. Interestingly enough, there's a deer bed right here. Now, in this case right here, the only side cover that is in this location is in the form of this cut log. And so without this, there's no opportunity for bedding. But at the same time, let's say we made a deer bed over here and we pulled this cover that's around us, made a canopy, there'd still be no side cover but this log. So when a deer is bedding in a location, because there's a log there, it tells you there's a deficiency of cover. So as in the case up here, the deer, we don't need any logs back in our bedding areas and the hinge cut areas we've created, because those hinges are away from the openings where the deer are going to bed. It's creating that side cover, it's creating that browse, which is what the hinge cuts are supposed to do. That's why you want the hinge cuts more at waist level. And with that growth and that regeneration in those side sprouts, we're creating that side cover that deer need. We don't need to add a log. So if you're doing it right, if you're creating bedding areas and hinge cuts that are actually effective bedding areas and are putting that amount of side cover on the ground like we have up here, then you don't need a bedding log. In this case, the only reason there's a deer here is because of this log. But there's a lot of logs around in the location. We happen to have the bedding area only 20 yards away, so that's another reason that deer is bedding here. We have the side cover right up here. But again, you don't need that log. A lot of times, if you do need it, it's just a sign that you don't have enough side cover in your cuttings, in your hinge cuttings, in your deer bedding areas. So think about that. You don't need this. Don't have to worry about cutting them and putting them in there. Big waste of time. And I'm looking for ways to save you time on your property, put more effort into actually building a herd, hunting that herd, and being a more effective deer manager on your small parcel.